What does it actually take for your ex to fight for saving your relationship? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. We're going to talk about how to make it happen for you. We're going to talk about what you need to do. So please make sure you stay tuned and watch this video all the way through to the end, because I'm going to give you some resources on how to make this happen. Hey there, this is Clay with modernlove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you're not, because you deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. Today, we are talking about how to actually get your ex to want to fight for your relationship. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to show them that they are not walking back into the same relationship that they walked out of in the first place. This should be pretty obvious for a lot of people, but sometimes people don't get it. Obviously the two of you broke up for a reason. You need to understand what that is, and you need to correct it, okay? So again, I don't know why you broke up. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if there was cheating, betrayal, whatever involved. But if you haven't somehow corrected that, if you haven't somehow worked through those emotional issues or whatever led up to the breakup or whatever the case might be, communication, who knows, whatever it could be, you gotta start with that, because your ex is not going to feel very excited about walking back into the same dynamic that they walked out of in the first place, okay? The second thing you have to do is you have to show up as someone who is adding some positive value to their life. That's basically like what a relationship is, right? We're basically showing up and we're saying, hey, you can step into my world and you can experience more of what you're getting right now. Whether that is like, okay, I'm going to have some sort of really impassioned life that I live where I'm, aligned with what I want and I'm willing to go after it, and we're going to do all these things. We're going to travel, we're going to see the world, we're going to do whatever. Or, hey, I'm so passionate about my art, we're going to live this creative, amazing life together, or whatever it might be. But basically, how you're showing up is going to be a taste test, a sample of what life together can be like. And so you want to make sure that you're showing up in a way that's actually adding value to their experience, right? So if you're dealing with something like depression, or if you're dealing with something like unemployment or something like that, these are probably going to be net negatives for all of these sorts of things. So you got to get that sorted out if that's something that's pulling down your energy, if that's something that's pulling down your way of being, if that's something that's pulling you down, you got to get that stuff sorted out, because you want to show up in a way that's going to be a value add to them, whatever that means, right? Whatever that means for them. They're the one whose opinion and perspective matters the most when it comes to all of this. I'm not going to say there's some sort of universal thing, like you have to be rich and a supermodel or something like that in order to make this work, although those things probably wouldn't hurt. But you have to show up in a way that's going to add value by living in alignment with your own values. That's the most important thing. I don't want you to be contorting yourself into something that you're not, but I want you to be living into your own values, so that when they see that and when they get to experience your life, they know that they're going to get a lot more of that when they start to get closer to you and start to commit more to you in a deeper sort of way. The next thing that you really want to do is you want to be showing up as an authentic person. You want to be showing up as someone who's genuine. You want to be expressing yourself fully and completely. That's why it's really important to also be aligned with your own values. That's why it's also really important to work through a lot of your emotional issues, so that you're not responding to panic. You're not responding to external stimuli in your environment. You're not responding to certain challenges. I mean, it's 2022. I know we've all been through a lot over the past 2 years. And as long as those things are influencing your way of being more than your own values, your ex is not going to get a real taste about who you are and what you're about. They're just going to say, okay, here's someone who's just at the whims of external circumstances. Is that really more of what I want in my life? So you want to be thinking about this stuff. You want to be working through all of this stuff, and you want to really be taking ownership of your way of being and bringing the best of yourself. So your way of being is actually really important, which is why a few weeks ago we actually did make an 8-hour subliminal recording that you can listen to while you're sleeping. You can go ahead and check it out right up there. It's going to help you to program your mind, program your unconscious to work through a lot of the issues and align you with the kind of healthy relationship dynamic that you really need to bring the best of yourself to your relationships. Go ahead and check it out. Go ahead and use it while you're sleeping. I mean, you're going to sleep anyway. You might as well use that time to rewire yourself for love, rewire yourself for more authenticity, and rewire yourself to bring the best to your relationship. So go ahead and check that out. By the way, if you do like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. Please make sure you also subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon as well too, so that you can get notified when we upload new videos or go live and answer your questions on a live stream. With that being said, there's one final thing you really need to do to get your ex to fight for you, and that is to, after you do all of this stuff already, after you demonstrate to them that they're not walking back into the same relationship that they walked out of, after you work on your way of being and bring authenticity and genuosity, if that's a word, to your interactions, and after you also align yourself with your values and live your best life, you really also have to drop a fork in the road to force your ex to make a decision. Because many times they're going to be stuck on this point where they're like, should I get back together with them? Should I not? I don't know. There's really no pressure to make a decision one way or the other. Maybe I won't make a choice. But if you let them know that this train isn't staying and waiting at the station forever, and that you're going to be taking off and going for a relationship, and if they don't make a decision pretty soon, that relationship isn't going to be with them, then they are not going to make a decision. So you need to lay down that fork in the road. You need to use some of the strategies that we've outlined inside of the X Solution course or inside of Effortless Connection to actually help them to make these decisions, okay? Because this is what it takes to actually get a commitment to happen. You can't just drop down ultimatums and expect them to do all this. You have to do it in just the right way. And you have to absolutely, please, make sure that you do all of the other stuff that we've talked about in this video first. Otherwise, they're not going to see the value in you, and they're not going to want to fight for you. They're just going to say, okay, see you around. Guess we're not going to be in a relationship, right? So you have to make sure you're not skipping some of this earlier stuff. Anyway, with that being said, thanks so much. Take care, and please make sure you watch this video series over here on aligning yourself for the best relationship that you possibly can. It's free. It helps you understand what you need to do. So please go ahead and check it out next.